William, it was great speaking to Tom Russell, but let's just move specifically into global travel retail. What are the plans for Rosebank in this sector?
Well, Peter, it's a really exciting time for the brand in travel retail. We actually have 3 new products being launched over the course of the next few months. In the next 2 weeks, we're about to make our first shipments of the Rosebank Remarkable Cask collection, you can see there, which we launched in Tux Raja, Singapore. And then thereafter in Cannes, coming up to Cannes, we're launching the 3rd in the Vintage collection range. So that is going to be a Vintage 1991, 33-year-old, only 350 bottles over 2 years, so really limited and rare. And then, hot off the press, we're going to be launching a highly exclusive single cask from Rosebank.
So what age is that?
So that's a 33-year-old cask from 1990, 46.6% alcohol, an absolutely stunning cask. The yield is only 107 bottles, so incredibly collectible. Not only is the only single cask being released from Rosebank for the foreseeable future, but it's only 107 bottles. So that we're hugely excited about that, and the combination of the 3 products, the Vintage, the Remarkable Cask, and this single cask, promises to be an exciting time for Rosebank and travel retail.
That's really good news on Rosebank. I know there's some major developments in the pipeline there too. But how are your wider brands performing? Which ones are actually outperforming the category, and why do you think that is?
Well, I think it's fair to say, Peter, that it has been a challenging time in the channel. The macroeconomic situations affecting consumer spend levels, the slowdown in China specifically has had a knock-on effect, the conflicts in the Ukraine and Middle East. That said, we are seeing some sort of shining lights within the portfolio just now. The number 1 selling brand by volume for Ian McLeod is actually the King Robert blend. And that's performing particularly well, possibly due to the kind of value proposition it has, but we're actually ahead year on year there. Edinburgh Gin in the UK has been another star for us. Various factors at play there. Our new Edinburgh Gin Boutique at Edinburgh Airport had a very positive initial few months since it opened in May. We've rolled out the Seaside Expression, which a lot of people have a huge attraction to, and it's quite a following, and that's rolled out across multiple airports in the UK. And we launched our Meadows Edinburgh Airport specific expression 2 weeks ago. Again, that's got off to a very positive start. So, whilst overall it is challenging, there are some kind of examples within the portfolio that are performing, bucking the trend, if you like. Another one would be our Isle of Skye blend, which was our first ever brand launched under Ian McLeod ownership back in the 60s. So, there are things to be positive about for sure.
What about Tamdhu?
Tamdhu, yes. Again, it's been a very exciting year for Tamdhu because we've really added to the range in quite a significant way. We felt that we were perhaps being a bit punchy in terms of the entry to the brand, which was around £130 for the Amber Vintage. And now we have launched in last Cannes the Quattro Reserva, which is a more kind of affordable entry point, around £77. And also we've launched the uber rare 46-year-old, only 100 bottles. So again, that's, we're noticing we're growing distribution, quality distribution during, month and month, really.
Well, I guess the beauty about the Ian McLeod offering is that you've actually got a range of products that straddle different price brackets.
Yes.
That's got to be a bit of a safety margin for you. So one of the next most obvious question is, what measures have you put in place, contingency measures have you put in place to weather the storm, as it were, if this situation with Scotch generally continues in the next 12 months or so?
Well, I would say one point there is our premium and luxury malts. The strategy we have in travel retail is finite supply, so we don't have tens of thousands of cases to sell. Some of them are really highly limited. So in that sense, we're not too concerned about a slowdown because we still feel there will be opportunities there. Plus, we're actively pursuing new regions and new channels for us. For instance, Americas, we only entered that whole region within the last 6 months or so. Likewise, cruise lines, we've up until now not had any presence there, and we're about to announce some kind of exciting moves in that regard. So there are opportunities out there. We're fortunate in a sense that we don't have a huge volume to sell on an annual basis, given the kind of luxury positioning of the brands. The company eMcLeod has evolved significantly over the last 20 years. If you look at it, 2003 we acquired Glengoyne from Edrington. 2011 we acquired Tamdhu, also from Edrington. 2014 we purchased Edinburgh Gin. 2017 we purchased Rosebank. So the portfolio has evolved. It's not like we've inherited a portfolio of 30 years in the making, 40 years that was already there for us. So we've been very fortunate in the way that the portfolio has come together. But that all said, there are still gaps that we are addressing within the ranges, within the individual brand portfolios, like as I mentioned with Tamdhu, the Quattro and 46-year-old expression, and the significant developments around Rosebank. So it's exciting. It's an exciting channel to be in.
Now, you referred to this earlier. At TFWA Singapore, you launched the Remarkable Cask series.
Yes.
From Rosebank. What can we expect, though, from Rosebank? We touched upon that earlier as well. And the wider Ian McLeod portfolio in Cannes next month.
So in Cannes, again, it's going to be very exciting for us. We're actually moving to a new stand location, which we think will showcase our brands in a much kind of better way. It's up in the Bay Village, and we have our own Edinburgh Gin Terrace adjacent to the stand, which is exciting. So please join us there for an Edinburgh Gin cocktail. We have a number of products that we're launching in Cannes. For Rosebank, it's going to be the vintage, the next vintage, the third in the series of 5 vintages. We also have a very special Glengoyne single cask. We have, in addition to that, the repacked Wincarnis brand, which is a tonic wine. Possibly a lot of people in Europe haven't maybe heard about it so much, but very popular in Middle East and Asia, Southeast Asia. Kind of tonic, sort of rejuvenating tonic wine. So we've rebranded that. We'll be launching that in Cannes, and they're the key points there in terms of the products in Cannes.
Well, it's obviously a very busy time for you, McLeod Distillers, right now. Can you tell us what other major projects you're working on?
Yeah. For us, if you look at it from a geographical perspective, a major project would be the continued development of our business in Asia Pacific, which in the space of 3 years has grown to become our #1 region, thanks to the excellent leadership of Kelvin Ng out there. So we have a number of plans there to move that up to the next level. In contrast to that, Americas is a new region for us, so completely new. So we're working with our partner DISC there to develop the business there. And probably another major piece for us would be our launch of these and sell-through of the ultra-luxury expressions, the Tamdhu 46, the Rosebank products I mentioned, the Glengoyne single cask. That requires quite a lot of individual sort of strategies per launch, in terms of the launch, the sell-through, the visibility, the digital support. So they're probably 3 big areas we'll be focusing on.
So when it comes to it, there's a couple of categories you're not yet into. Are we going to see evidence of that in the coming years? In terms of tequila, rum, etc.?
Well, yes, I am not aware of any plans to get into tequila. You're right, it does seem to be quite a hot category just now. In terms of rum, we do actually have a rum brand ourselves, the Lang's Rum, which is growing in distribution in the UK. We've just launched a spiced rum, Lang Spice. So that is something we are monitoring closely with a potential view to launch in travel retail. Now that some good seeding work's been done in UK domestic.
So, William, if there are 3 things you wanted to communicate to the trade right now, and I guess knowing you, it's probably a few more than 3, what would they be?
Well, I would say it's been talked about so many times before, the importance of working together between the landlord, concessionaire and brand owner. And we've had some great experience of that of late with our Edinburgh Gin Boutique. That kind of very close collaboration between Edinburgh Airport, Avolta and ourselves regarding that, for us quite a significant project, and that worked really positively and seamlessly. So closer collaboration, I would say also more sharing of insights within the industry. I was so delighted that Tax Free Asia commissioned a report quite recently via Pi Research looking at the influence of travel retail, which was enormously helpful because it provided that objective evidence of the brand building work that the channel can do. And for us, working in travel retail, incredibly useful and helpful to have that we can share with our colleagues to say this is what having a presence in the channel will do. So huge credit to Tax Free World for commissioning that.
And Pi are good people.
Yeah, very good, and, very
doing
impressive.
That no one else does.
Yes, exactly.
So the equivalent of Nielsen almost.
Yes,
for
yes,
business.
correct.
Long needed.
Absolutely, and more of that we can all benefit from. And then probably lastly, I would, since you asked just for three, I would say that bringing more kind of joy to travellers and real genuine experiences whilst they travel in terms of the kind of retail and hospitality context is something we should really be striving for, pushing the boundaries and making it memorable and standing out. I referenced Edinburgh Gin Boutique, but you also I've seen some great examples from Glenmorangie with their boutique in Heathrow and Macallan and their boutiques throughout the world, and that's standalone shops, if you like, but also the whole experiential activation work. I've seen it come on as well. So, more of that, pushing the boundaries there.
Yeah, we need to continue to push the boundaries out to make sure the passenger spend is still there. William Ovens, great seeing you.
Great seeing you,
here
Peter.
at Rosebank Distillery. Great venue.
Lovely to welcome you here.
Good to see you again.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks.
Cheers.